How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are tackling some weed issues I have down on my tomato plants. I'm getting some fresh coffee grounds down from Starbucks. If you didn't know, the Starbucks area might not or may offer free coffee grounds for people to take home. I do have some hiding around here somewhere, so I'll show you what that bag looks like. If you ask the workers nicely, sometimes they'll give you extras as well. So it's really good for the garden. Works as a really good compost. Potato plants really love it. I think my potato bed here has probably close to 6 or 10 large bags of coffee grounds from our local Starbucks and like a bunch of the little smaller ones. So let's jump into these weeds, get this tackled, and move on with our day. All right, guys, so all I'm doing is I'm taking my, I don't know what you want to call this tool. It's like a hoe and a rake all combined in one, but multi-tool. But I'm just gonna go right underneath them to where I can grab them at the root. I'm gonna dig up right underneath like that. Pretty simple. Ideally you wanna get all the weeds. However, sometimes it's not possible. Some days I'll come out here and I'll pull a little bit of weeds in a certain area and I'll go on to the next area. Then you can really never get rid of your weed problem unless you go ahead and put down the black tarping that people use. Fortunately, I don't use that tarping. Nothing against it, it's just something not that I do. I thought maybe next year I'll go ahead and give it a try, see if I like it then. I'll do it in a few of my beds, just to kind of see how well it works. My strawberry beds are full of weeds, and I can never seem to get those under control until about the end of the year, of course. So all right, then as I work my way down here, I'm just going to slowly move my tags. Being in close quarters as you are with the tomato plants, I'm making sure to be careful not to get too close down to where their roots are. So I'm going to pull everything toward me. And I start pulling it off from there. Last year I didn't have too many issues with weeds in this area because we planted so many tomato plants that we literally couldn't pick them fast enough. They were dying before we could get them picked. I think about everyone we knew, I was handing bags of potatoes to, or tomatoes to, just to make sure they're getting eaten. But normally after a good weed in this area at the start of the season, of course after things have been planted, usually we don't have very much comeback on the weeds. But we've also had a lot of rain here in Zone 6A the last week, and we have a whole bunch more rain coming this week. So I do expect some more weeds to sprout up as the days move on. And one thing I do like to do with my tomato plants is I like to string them up so that they kind of get where they need to go. Like these guys are hanging low. I'll go right down to where their split is, or till they start their next branch. I'll make a knot there. Then I'll make another one right below that split, like so. And then I come up like this, cut my string, we're just going to tie it off to the trellis. You don't want it to be too tight, but you also don't want it to be too loose. You just want it just enough so that it's going to be able to grow upwards and not outwards. I think that's the only problem child we have today. All right, here are the coffee grounds that I was talking about. They're normally for free at my local Starbucks. So I'll do is I'll just sprinkle it out all across the bottom here. Discard that. And just kind of evenly, to the best of my ability, spread that out. Alright. And there we are. We've got our tomatoes cleaned up. Got all the weeds out for the most part. We got some nice food for them with that ground coffee beans. And we are all set for the day. Alright guys, well that's going to be it for today's episode. I'm going to try to keep them as short as possible. I can make longer videos, however I feel like if I make longer videos I don't get as many views. So I'm going to rock out some of these short ones for the next few weeks daily to see how those do. And if we get more comments and likes and subscribers, I'll start doing more long form videos. Maybe check out if I can go review some other gardens and stuff like that. So hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe. Catch you later.